Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly. Today I am reacting to 1-star reviews of some of my 5-star reads. Or I think some of these are just books that I loved like as a kid. That I rate 5 stars like partially because of the nostalgia. I think I saw Jack Edwards do this first. I don't know if he actually did it first or if that's just the one that I saw. So, not sure who decided that this was something that we were gonna do, but I've seen a lot of people do it and it just looks fun. So I'm doing it. I have reviews pulled up on my computer behind you. So let's just jump right into it. So one of my favorite books ever is The Martian by Andy Weir. I'm pretty sure I've talked about it a few times on this channel at this point. And I rewatched the movie last night, and I am looking forward to rereading The Martian this summer because for some reason it's a beach book for me. Let's get into those reviews though. This first one is from December of 2014. And it starts with, "This book is really embarrassing." It says that the attempts at humor are cringeworthy. It reads like some 15-year-old boy's first attempt at writing while his brain-dead girlfriend occasionally chimed in with suggestions straight out of her text message history. It also says that it's a series of log entries for his time stranded on Mars, except when all of a sudden it isn't. Sometimes we're back on Earth with the ragtag team of foul-mouthed, unlikable dingleberries tasked with figuring out how to get him home. And these are the moments that highlight just how bad this really is. So this book is also embarrassing for NASA because these people are NASA employees in the book. And that's just really funny to me. I tried to pick the funniest reviews that I could find. I think the funniest part for me is that it just starts with, "This book is really embarrassing." The second review I found for this one was, "How can I say this to you? This is one of the most boring books I've ever had the displeasure of reading." Their little summary says, "Here's the book. Log entry. I'm fucked. Oh wait, I have an idea. Science, science, science. Then if I science, science, science. Great. Insert lame joke here." Which, like, you're not wrong. But it's a sci-fi about a guy stranded on Mars. I don't know what you were expecting. Anyway, I love Mark Watney and I love Andy Weir, so the next book is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood, which I expected so many more funny bad reviews for this and I didn't find that many. So the first one, 1.5, and that I was able to finish it, which is more than I can say for Love Hypothesis or the Titmouth book. That is when I started, like, just like, I knew I had to screenshot that one. What, like, I know exactly what scene they're talking about in the Love Hypothesis, which is not my favorite Ali Hazelwood. Love Theoretically is my favorite Ali Hazelwood, but just describing it as the Titmouth book, I can't. The reviewer then goes on to say, "Also, just because you're a scientist doesn't mean you have to talk in science in everyday life and say shit like, 'I feel my atoms crashing angrily against each other.' I'm pretty sure scientists are also normal human beings who speak in normal human language." As someone with a science degree, yes, we are normal and we do speak in normal human language, and that is actually something about Ali Hazelwood books that I'm always like, do you really had to get that many stupid science jokes in there? The second review I pulled just says, "My favorite character was the hedgehog," which is the main character's roommate's pet. That the main character doesn't like. That she doesn't like the hedgehog. She likes her roommate. She doesn't like the hedgehog. The hedgehog and the main character are enemies. You barely even see the hedgehog. The hedgehog has no characteristics at all that I remember except being mean in the eyes of the main character. I wanted to put at least one classic on this list, and my favorite classic that I have read, which granted is not very many, is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. So, I pulled two short little reviews that I thought were just, some people are so funny, guys, some people are just so funny. Mary Shelley, "I'm so sorry, but even the gayness couldn't save this book. And an annoying scientist and an ugly tall man fight over who is more depressed." I have to say, it's been 4 or 5 years since I've read Frankenstein. I'm planning on doing a reread this year, so I don't remember the gayness. But I can't wait to go into it thinking about that. The next book is a new release. It is Emily Henry's Funny Story. Here's a question. Is it at all possible for an Emily Henry character to have a thought, idea, experience without a corresponding intense physical reaction? Literally every statement comes with a dramatic physical event. Her heart rate at any given time fluttered, thrashed, raced, shot up into her throat, unzipped more than once, lurched, tightened, cracked, vibrated, and twisted. The ribs like to get involved as well. At one time, pesky hope climbed into her ribs, and at another there was a low, yearning ache that she felt in her ribs. Fair. I believe later in this review, the reviewer goes on to say that they only started writing this stuff down in the last 2 hours of the audiobook, and that these lists that they made, which are literally from the book, they made the lists from the book, was only from the last maybe third of the book. So that's okay. But also you don't want us to just say that they're you're supposed to show a reaction. I'd show not tell, right? I thought it was funny. And then the next one is just too millennial for me. Too millennial. What does that mean? I didn't feel millennial to me. Maybe I'm just too close to being a millennial. I have 2 older siblings and I'm on the cusp, so I'm basically a millennial. I don't know what that means though. Okay. Next was the Princess Diaries series, and I just looked up the first one because I figured that's where the majority of the reviews were gonna be that were bad, because nobody's gonna read through all 10 books. You're just gonna go to the first one and be like, oh, that movie with Anne Hathaway and Julie Andrews is based on this. The first review that I picked, it says, this was definitely a case of the movie being better than the book. I was expecting something fun, not an oversexed, maladjusted drama with a tiara. And then the second one is, this is the book one of my favorite movies is based on. This? What am I missing here? Which is so valid. I love this series, but it's not like the movie at all. I read them, I want to say while the movies were, because there are 2 movies, while the movies were coming out, maybe. I was 13 or 14 probably when I started reading them. I'm aware that they're not great movies, but I love them. Or not great books, they are great movies, sorry. Not great books. I put them on here because they are nostalgia reads for me, and I love them because of the nostalgia. I'm kind of scared to go back and reread them because I have a feeling I'll have similar reactions to these reviews. The next one is also a series, and it's also more of a nostalgia read for me, although I think it holds up better than a lot of them. And that is the Selection series. The first one is, if you can get past the I'm smelling my armpit cover and also the silly names and the horribly unoriginal storyline and the terrible writing. Wait, really? You can get past all that? What does that leave you with then? A nice font? I thought that was so funny. I don't think the writing's that bad. And I don't think the cover looks like she's smelling her armpit. I'll put a picture in, but I don't think she looks like she's smelling her armpit. It's like a Vogue, not Vogue, it's like a high fashion pose. I don't know. I've never thought it looked like she was smelling her armpit in that, and I've been looking at that cover for 10 years at this point. Probably more. So, interesting take there. They do have a nice font though. The Selection is basically The Bachelor in a dystopian society for the prince. And I ate that up as a kid. I still love it. The next review is not 1 star, it's 1.5 stars, they clarify. It says, this book was pretty trashy. Sometimes trash can be great, but sometimes trash is just trash. And that's so profound. The book is it's kind of trashy. If you like The Bachelor is trash TV, but we still watch it. This last season of The Bachelor, oh my gosh, I loved this season of The Bachelor. I think it's good trash, but you know, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So a lot of these are just nostalgia ones. I don't know. I think I was scared of my like ones that I actually genuinely love reading bad reviews for those, so I did a lot of nostalgia ones. So Just Listen by Sarah Dessen, which I absolutely adored Sarah Dessen as a kid. First review. I liked this book at first, and I liked the main characters, but as the book went on, I found myself disliking them more, and then I hated them. Did this happen to anyone else? And then one of the shelves they put it on is worst books ever. And then the second review is just, I don't remember anything that happened, just that I liked Owen, who is the male love interest. Which is, that's probably why I like Just Listen so much, is because of Owen. I think he's a great male main character. He has like a radio show or something. The last book that I chose is The Lightning Thief, which I actually have my copy of I have a copy of it right next to me. It's technically my brother's copy because he got to keep the whole series. But look at how destroyed this thing is. Because my brother and I have been reading this a lot, but I've been thinking about it a lot, so I decided that I would put it on this list because it is going to be, I'm in like a book club, and it is a read for the book club, so I'm reading it, will be reading it in the next month or so. So since I've been thinking about it, I decided to just put it on here because I do remember really loving it as a kid, and I haven't read it since. So first review, DNF at 30%. I really tried to get into this book. I just don't get the hype, and I couldn't torture myself with having to read about Percy and his pea-sized brain anymore. The kid's like 12. I don't know what you expect. And then the second review said a couple of things, and then the premise is clever, but as many other readers have noted, it is pretty much a Harry Potter ripoff. How? Because he's the chosen one. That was the thing. This review was written in 2009. Everyone was the chosen one in 2009. Are you kidding me? All of the fantasy written then had a chosen one. I have never seen it as a ripoff of Harry Potter. And I think it's kind of better written than Harry Potter. Although I haven't read it in a long time, so I guess I can't really say that. But I don't reread Harry Potter ever at this point. Anyway, I just think it's funny. You know, I was a Harry Potter kid and a Percy Jackson kid, so a lot of us liked both. I don't think it's a Harry Potter ripoff. However, Rick Riordan knew his audience, and he knew what he was writing for, who he was writing for, and what we would enjoy. And he hit it right on the head. I don't think he understood how much a lot of us were into mythology as kids. I distinctly remember me and my little brother making PowerPoint presentations for fun about mythology, not just Greek mythology either, like all of it. My favorite was Roman, actually, and I think my brother's favorite was Egyptian, but I could be wrong on that. Rick Riordan knew his audience. Okay, that is all of the reviews that I looked up for today. This was really fun. I was just laughing so much at some of these reviews. Some of them didn't make it in because I didn't want to do too many. Some of them made me upset, but some of them made me laugh so hard, and I don't know, I think this was fun. I would recommend looking for some funny 1-star reviews of people who didn't like your favorite books, but also maybe don't, because you might get your feelings hurt. I know I did. Let me know what your favorite books of all time are, or just some books that you've given 5 stars recently, or books you read as a kid, because apparently I just chose a lot that I read as a kid. And if you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see me again, subscribe, and I will see y'all next time. Love you, bye.